What, did somebody think we were going to be doing this at 6 o'clock Eastern time? No, it's 6 o'clock Central time. Duh. Okay, so we tried to do it at 6 o'clock Eastern time and couldn't connect. Something happened in our software. It went into the hourglass. We tried to turn it off and turn it back on. Then it ended up putting anyway. You don't need to know all the dirty details, but the bottom line is here we are. We are 1 hour later than we expected to be, but that still means it's 6 o'clock somewhere in Central Time. So we're not that far off. Welcome to the Sports Rush. I am Brett Rump. Glad to have you once again for our live edition. That means you can go ahead and make your comments by just throwing in a comment. We'll try to get to as many questions, comments, or suggestions. And of course, while you're connected, make sure you like, you follow, you subscribe. Very important if you are watching us on YouTube that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and you want to click that little bell so you get alerts when we do go live. And maybe it'll even be working at that point. But hey, look who's here. It's Adam Lundy. Always great to have Adam taking some time out of his Sunday to join us. And I know Adam and I both had duties earlier today with the TinCaps, which is a story in and of itself. What a crazy week, huh?
Yeah. It could probably take up the whole show if we're not careful. But a lot to talk about. But hey, they got today. That's
we got
on
to
the
get
bright
you to
side.
work
They
on
got to win.
your connection there. You keep freezing up. Hopefully you.
Oh no.
You're freezing up. What I'm saying, I don't know. Somebody tell me if that's happening to everybody. If Adam is freezing, because he was freezing up for me. All right, so let's go back to Thursday. In fact, I want to go back to Wednesday.
Now you're okay. We're good.
Where the TinCaps on Wednesday, they had a walk-off win after a long rain delay, hour and 15-minute rain delay. It was, after 11 o'clock at night. They go extra innings. And you ended up with a walk-off win with Leo DeVries, the number one prospect in the Padres system, at least as of Wednesday, on second base. And you had Brandon Butterworth to start the bottom of the 10th. The first pitch lines it into left center field. DeVries comes in to score. Celebration, walk-off victory. And those two guys who were part of the game-winning play weren't going to be part of the Padres organization less than 24 hours later. What a crazy Thursday. It started. We thought Leo DeVries was probably protected. In other words, there's usually two or three prospects that you're not going to deal no matter what or who the person is that you're trying to get in San Diego. We thought Leo DeVries might be one of those players, but we found out on Thursday morning, the day of the trade deadline, that the blockbuster that involved Matt Miller, the hard-throwing closer for the A's, that he was going to the Padres, and Leo DeVries was among a package that was going back to the A's. And that just started a day that became even crazier as it went on. But how surprised are you, Adam? Because I thought there's a few names on the TinCaps I could see getting traded. I thought maybe Braden Carpathios. I thought Butterworth was a good chance. They were the ones I saw as most likely. I did not think DeVries was going to be a name that was put on the list for AJ Preller, but he's holding nothing back, man. He is going all in with his chips, and the number one prospect for the Padres and the number three prospect in all of baseball is on his way to the A's.
Yeah, first of all, how's my connection? Am I better?
Yeah, it looks like you're back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that I'm surprised by the move, considering, like you said, you would consider him a non-touchable player. But the fact is that this is the San Diego Padres and AJ Preller we're talking about, and this is a team that we've seen make surprising moves near the deadline in the past that have depleted the minor league system a little bit of some of the top talent, no question about it. So now it's just a question of if it's going to be worth it for the Padres and see how far that they can get in the postseason.
It yeah, it's crazy because first of all, going into the 31st, which was trade deadline day, I mentioned a couple of guys for the TinCaps that I thought might be on the bubble, but you also had some pitchers. Garrett Hawkins, I'm sure, had some concern on what was going to happen with his future. Miguel Mendez, Eric Yost, maybe even Fernando Sanchez. I mean, there were some guys in that bullpen and the pitching staff that very well could have been a player that was in on a deal, especially when you're trading 4 or 5 prospects for one major leaguer. And in this case, the Padres did get 2 major leaguers. They got a starter and they got Miller as the closer. So it was a pretty big package that was put together. I mean, it was one of the biggest trades of the day for Major League Baseball. But that certainly adds an emotional part to the day for the TinCaps. All of a sudden now they're not thinking as much about baseball and they're thinking more maybe about their future, trying to keep up on social media. They're probably getting texts from family and friends. Hey, have you heard anything? Every time they might have been rumored to be part of a deal, I'm sure they're getting text and something, some kind of feedback. That's what was going on behind the scenes for about a 24-hour period with the TinCaps. Very tough to play baseball under those conditions. Well, then you find out Leo DeVries is gone, and you know what that means for everybody else in that clubhouse. That means none of us are safe. I mean, they just dealt Leo DeVries. None of us are safe. And then, of course, it took a few hours, but the next domino to fall was Brandon Butterworth in the afternoon. Here's the next part of this. And Butterworth's a great kid. Love the way he goes about the game, 100% every day, Mr. Hustle. But the other part of this is Leo DeVries plays shortstop, and when he doesn't play shortstop, Brandon Butterworth is the shortstop. Butterworth's the second baseman, DeVries is the shortstop, and when DeVries is out, Butterworth moves over. Those are the 2 guys that got pulled out. So now all of a sudden you got to figure out who's your shortstop, who's your second baseman, and then how do you fill the holes? The roster, I think the TinCaps had 1 available body on the bench. Everybody else had to go and find a spot in the field. It's almost like rec league. It's just like go out there, grab your glove, go out and get a position, guys. That's what the TinCaps had available for Thursday night. And until you could flip the rosters around, and you can't do it in the same day because here we are in Fort Wayne. The other rosters or the other affiliates are in San Antonio, El Paso, and Lake Elsinore, California, which is not too far from Los Angeles. It's Los Angeles, San Diego, Southern California area. So there were no reinforcements. There only was people that had to get on a plane or a bus or a car and get out of town. Leo DeVries played for Lansing that night. He was their leadoff batter that same night.
Yeah, he got up there real quick, and they were very excited to post all about him all over their social medias. My goodness,
Oh yeah, I mean
rub it in.
for the Lugnuts, it's a great PR move because now they've got one of the top 3 prospects in all of baseball that's part of their team. And yeah, they loved it.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah,
And then what was it, his second game, he hit the triple?
I believe so. But yeah, triple early on up there for Lansing.
Yeah. And of course, that got just posted and smothered all over social media by the Lansing Lugnuts media staff. They're not going
Oh,
to miss this opportunity to show everybody Leo DeVries playing in the A's organization. Um, but
uh,
okay, so that's step 1. Phase 1 is the Thursday ordeal where you find out who's traded and who isn't. Then phase 2 is okay. How are they going to complete all the rosters? Because you just traded like 4 or 5 guys out of San Antonio. They need help. The TinCaps lost a couple of key guys. They need help. And so the shuffle began late Thursday night so that everybody knew what planes they had to catch and where they were heading. And the TinCaps end up losing their top 2 starting pitchers and the absolute shutdown closer, Garrett Hawkins, who hasn't given up a run since April.
Yeah.
And that, and then what the TinCaps got were what, 3 infielders, an outfielder, and a catcher. That
Yeah.
okay? So you lose the pitchers, and you get a bunch of infielders back. You don't have any pitchers, and so today the TinCaps were just holding on with only a couple of available arms to try to figure out how to get through 9 innings. And lo and behold, they won the stinking ball game. Thank you, Luis Gutierrez. Thank you, Fernando Sanchez and Misael Tamariz, who
Yes.
finished it off, got the save. So congratulations to the TinCaps. They finally ended the week on something very positive with a win. They desperately needed it because I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about Saturday, but good God, that was a long game. We
Yeah.
had the film material going, but it was a tough week.
Yeah, no question about it. With the crazy reshuffle of the roster, I was talking to, the Tin Caps radio broadcaster Mike Maz after the game today, and I just said that probably had to feel really good for everybody in the Tin Caps organization just to get that win with the new roster, on the notched on the board. And it's just kind of like a sense of relief for all the players too, after all that uncertainty that you mentioned on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, not knowing where you're going. Some guys got in on Friday but weren't able to get in the game, and they just suited up. And like you said, Saturday they had a starting pitcher who was starting for the first time. So just crazy stuff this week for the Tin Caps.
Well, and that's the thing is the physical toll, but it was the emotional and mental toll had everybody drained today. I
Yeah.
mean, the staff, the I know Jaden and Andy. I know, trying to keep up with all the new names that are coming and the players that are going, and trying to get information to San Antonio about the players that have been here, and them trying to then get information about the players that are coming. It was just a crazy week of baseball on and off the field. And then the TinCaps lose Friday 9-2, and that seemed like a nail biter compared to what we had on Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday said, "Hold my beer."
I mean, there were people in section 102, row T, that were looking to grab a bat to get up to the plate. God, that 9th inning, everybody got a hit for the Loons, didn't they? I mean, it's like line drive, line drive. And I'll be honest, you know how much of the 9th inning I actually watched? Almost nothing. I just sat there and was talking to Jaden. I was paying no attention.
I don't blame you.
Well, I mean, we were talking. I don't even remember now what we were talking about on Saturday because we'd used some of our film material on Friday when it was 80s night. We were talking about the 80s and what I was doing in the 80s. Talked about how I had the club jumping back in the 80s.
Oh no, I knew it was coming. But Saturday's conversation might have been pretty inconsequential because you clearly can't remember it.
You know what we talked about on Saturday?
What?
What superpower would you have if you could choose your superpower?
Oh man, what'd you go with?
Well, I was hoping we would end the inning before I had to pin it down, but I knew it was something. I wanted to go not physical, but intellectual. I wanted
Cool.
it to be something that was brain power. My superpower would be brain power. And you know what I came up with? I think I came
Mm.
up with a great answer:
What is it?
the ability to speak all foreign languages.
That'd be
In
pretty
other words, I
convenient.
could communicate with anyone in any language. I could communicate.
That'd be pretty good.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be convenient. Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be awesome.
I
Because
would do time travel or teleportation.
Oh, that's
Just
a good
throwing
one.
it out there.
That's a good one. Now, Jaden mentioned reading people's mind, and I said that's dangerous.
Yeah, you might want to you might hear something you don't want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. I might find out things about people I really don't want to know.
This guy Brett, he's a real
I
jerk.
mean, I like you, Adam, but if I know everything going on in your head, I'm not so sure I'd feel the same way.
Yeah, that one's dangerous. I don't know about that one from Jaden.
Yeah. So I said, no, I don't think I want to go there, but I would like to be able to speak everybody's foreign language. So that was my superpower. But
Yeah, that
that
just
was
goes
what
to
we were
show.
talking about in the ninth inning because it was so bad.
Yeah, well, it was the final 18-2.
No, we got a run in the bottom of the ninth.
Oh, you're right, 18-3. I'm sorry.
18-3. Don't sell us short, man.
The
Tin
field
Caps
goal
got
was
a run
good.
across bottom of the ninth, 18-3.
Field goal was good, but a couple touchdowns there for the other team.
Yeah. That was a long night Saturday. And and Friday's game was 4-2 at one point.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
question. They were
like
in it.
5 innings in, it's a 4-2 game. You're like, it's a pretty decent game. We're in this. And then all of a sudden that one just got completely out of hand. So
Yeah, it was nice. I worked Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so two terrible losses, but one redemption win on the
I do
board
have to
today.
I do have to bring this up because I
What's
talked
up?
about it on the broadcast today. That starting the game today, the Tin Caps and Loons had played 5 games in the series. The Tin Caps never led, but they won one game.
Interesting. How do you explain that one?
Well, think about it. The only game they won with a walk-off victory, bottom of the 10th.
Oh,
So officially, they never led the game because the game ended the
and
moment the
okay,
go-ahead run stepped on the plate.
I got you.
So they never led at any point in that game. And the whole rest of the series, the other 4 games, they trailed from the beginning. So they had played 5 games in the series, and the Tin Caps had never led, but they did win one of the games. Yeah,
Ah,
that's one of those I could throw out there just to see if anybody could get it.
man, what a way to end your Tin Caps career and time with the Padres though for DeVries and Butterworth. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, walk-off celebration, and the pitching hero was Garrett Hawkins, and of course that's the last time we'll see Hawkins on the mound. Um, and the guys that got promoted: Eric
Yes.
Yost, Garrett
Yes.
Hawkins, and who else? Oh, Mendez, Miguel
Hmm.
Mendez.
Hmm.
I mean, they were no brainers. They all deserve to be at a higher level. But it's just kind of at the time, it's piling on a bit when you
Yeah.
just lose Butterworth and DeVries, and then you've got to say goodbye to the two best starting pitchers and best reliever you've got on your staff. It just felt like piling on.
No
Uh,
question.
Tin Caps on the road at South Bend. They aren't too good.
No.
So, maybe play some competitive baseball. And then they come back home and they've got West Michigan, who just happens to be the best team in the Midwest League. And they were in the first half. They lost their 3 best players all to promotion after the
Hmm.
first half. And yet they're just as good in the second half.
They're a scary team up there, West Michigan.
They just don't lose. I mean, they
they,
win
they
4 or
don't.
5 games every series, it seems. They're just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ryan Eaton likes my shirt.
Hey, it's the Manzanas Luchadores.
Yeah,
Their last
yeah,
one of the season today, I believe.
yeah. Last Hispanic Heritage game. Yep.
Very cool. Hey, going
Uh,
back to Brandon Butterworth real quik. I just saw. I don't know if you saw. He had his first Double A home run in the new system.
really?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I
With
thought it
the
was pretty cool that he got promoted.
yeah,
Uh,
and then he goes and hits a homer.
yeah. He's playing for what, Chesapeake or what is it?
Yes, the Chesapeake Bay Sox.
Yeah. So so he ended up with the Orioles organization, And instead of just going over to their high A team, he got sent to their double A team. And I did not hear that. Now, I will say this. Uh, TinCaps, former TinCaps in the news. You had Butterworth doing that. DeVries hit a triple in Lansing.
Yep.
And Jacob Marcy. Did you hear about Marcy?
Ah, yeah, I did. I saw Marcy got his first couple career hits down with the Marlins.
Yeah. Not only did he have a double in his first game, but he had like a double. He was 1 for 2. I think he walked 3 times. Very good debut on Friday night in a game that was 13-12 Marlins in the walk-off, a crazy game against the Yankees. Not a bad team to debut against, right? If you're going to debut, might as well play against the Yankees. Then on Saturday, I think he was 2 for 4 with a double. So he had a double on Friday, had a double on Saturday. Today, another 2 for 4 day with a triple.
Wow, absolutely crushing it.
His first weekend in the bigs, and he is 4 for 8 with 2 doubles and a triple.
That's awesome. You love to see it for the former TinCaps guys. And I actually heard this is the first time that the Marlins have swept the Yankees in a series.
Really?
Yeah.
I know my son was going nuts because he just went to a Marlins game like a week and a half ago. And he gets all into a team once he goes to their game. And so he's been psyched about the Marlins, following every game, every pitch, every inning. I mean, they played the Brewers and they played. And so he's been following it. And he has just been going nuts this weekend because of them playing the Yankees and winning all 3 games. Thought there was a curfew in Fort Wayne.
What are you trying to say, Ryan?
I'm trying to figure out what he is saying. Did I miss something?
I don't know. What are you trying to say, Ryan? Let us know.
Yes, he's freezing. And then
I,
there's a curfew. Ryan's just making up his own topics. I have no idea what he's talking about.
oh, you know what? He might have started from the start of the show again. So he might be at a previous
Oh,
part of where we were
that's what.
talking.
Yeah, he's like 10 minutes, 15, actually about 20 minutes behind. That's when you were freezing up.
Yes.
Okay, so Ryan's comments are not live comments. They're actually almost tape delayed comments. So I have to try to look past what Ryan's saying.
I like it.
Once again, if you're joining us, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give us a thumbs up on the video. We apologize being an hour late, but of course we were intending for this to be Central Time, and a lot of people thought we would be on Eastern Time, and they got confused. It wasn't us. It
No.
was yeah. Don't want to admit to our technical flaws.
Could never be your fault, Brett.
No, it can't be. Speaking of technical stuff, what do you think of my new studio?
I think it's fancy. You look like you're in like Tron or something.
Yeah, I had to try. I wanted to go with a fresh look and just see the reaction. So far, it's been pretty positive.
It's clean.
Instead of sitting in the office in front of a bookcase, I thought this gives me kind of an open, fresh look, right?
No, yeah, no, I definitely. It's a lot less cramped and cluttered.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody told me, they said, I don't know what you put in your bookshelves behind you, but we know that you never won a trophy. You never won an award. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean I
Oh
never won
man,
a trophy? Man, cold blooded.
this guy just went down to the trophy shop and just bought a couple.
Yeah, I just started putting some trophies. Can you engrave it too and put Brett Rump MVP? Thank you.
Best radio
Can
show.
you imagine making your own trophy?
Oh geez, and I mean, not to mention it was a virtual background, so you couldn't actually have put any trophies.
Yeah, don't expect that. I have never gotten a trophy in radio broadcasting. Never won an award. Never won an award for anything. Nothing.
I would nominate you. I would vote for you.
I mean, my high school station didn't. I didn't get an award when I was at high school. My college station, all the different radio stations I've worked for, never got. I mean, I didn't even get a perfect attendance award. I mean, nothing.
That's on you though. I mean that one's on you. You got to go to school.
I had perfect attendance for
Oh,
radio.
oh,
It
I
was
was gonna say
the only class I attended. What do you mean? I was there every day.
you have to be perfect for all the classes for that award, Brett.
Oh, the yeah, this is confusing me. Somebody
Yeah,
else
no,
has to start leaving comments so that I don't keep looking up and seeing the comment from Ryan and then trying to figure out because he's almost 20 minutes behind.
that's
But
okay.
I appreciate him being tuned in. But yeah,
He'll figure it out.
eventually, 20 minutes from now, he'll figure out that we're talking about him being 20 minutes behind.
Yes, hello to Ryan from the future.
Yeah. Once again, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share the channel, make sure you do leave a comment. That's pretty simple. We're looking at the comments. Where are these comments on YouTube? If you're
Yes, sir.
watching on YouTube,
Yes, sir.
that's where we're getting our comments from. So that's what we're seeing here in our little video. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the Fever. We've talked about the TinCaps. We talked about the Marlins. The Indiana Fever, 5 in a row. How about it?
I told you, man. This team just needs a little bit more time to gel, and they're going to start putting together some wins. And I'm going to call it right there. I was right.
Rick is piling on, saying, I didn't read the books on those bookshelves either. That's probably true. I don't know about you, Adam. I am not a book reader. I never have I been a big book reader.
It's got to be a good one. It's got to really grab my
I'll scan a book, get the idea of what it's about. If there's a section that I kind of get intrigued in, I might read more of the words, but usually it's like I'm just flipping, kind of scanning through it, thinking, okay, I know the story. I know if I know the story, I know the book. But he's probably right. All right, so Fever got a win at Seattle. They won at Dallas the other night. They won at home against Phoenix. Here's the irony of the home win against Phoenix. We all know the story of Dewana Bonner, big free agent signing in the offseason, joins the Indiana Fever, supposed to be a compliment to Caitlin Clark, supposed to be a veteran presence, a championship presence in that locker room. And I don't know where it got off the rails, but something happened, and Dewana Bonner ended up wanting out of town. She wasn't happy with Indiana. Eventually, she requested a trade. They couldn't find a trade partner, and they agreed to just let her go and let her loose. She ended up connecting with Phoenix. Well, meanwhile, the Fever had Ari McDonald on the team, on the roster when Caitlin Clark was hurt. Caitlin Clark came back and they had to release her, even though she had performed really well and they really liked her. And then the Dewana Bonner situation happened. And so as a result, the Fever were able to re-sign Ari McDonald to a regular contract in Dewana Bonner's spot. And Wednesday night, Dewana Bonner makes her big return to Indianapolis. 1 for 4, 4 points. The
Yeah.
girl that the Fever got because she decided to bail on the team, Ari McDonald, with a career high 27 points, and the Fever beat the Mercury. Just a little bit of justice there, huh?
Yep, that's the sports gods smiling down on the Indiana Fever for that one. That was fantastic to see, and yeah, just a terrible night for Bonner. So didn't really make any of her points or any of her statements. New basketball home. It doesn't seem to be working out very well for you there either. So glad you're with your fiance at least.
Yeah. Yeah. At least no more homesickness, if that's what it was. But her basketball wasn't very good.
No.
And Ari McDonald was terrific. Now, today, Fever had control of this game throughout the second half. I didn't get onto it until halftime because being at the TinCaps game. But I watched the second half, and the Fever controlled almost the whole game. And then all of a sudden, almost a royal choke job on the road. They tried to give it away. I mean, missed a couple of shots, missed a couple of layups, gave up a couple of offensive rebounds. Next thing you know, it's a one possession lead after the Fever had been up, I think, 12 or 13 points, and it almost got away, but the Fever were able to hold on, barely. And they get the win. I think it was, what was it, 77, 74?
78-74. So you were only off by one.
Okay. I mean, the final number didn't matter. It just mattered that it was a big W. They got the win and
Yeah.
held on. So the Fever win their fifth in a row. Now, there's people that are asking, is the Fever a better basketball team without Caitlin Clark? That's ridiculous, first of all. No, they're not a better basketball team when you take a most talented player, perhaps in the league. And I'll be okay, before anybody jumps on me, I don't think she's the best player in the league. I think right now, Nafisa Collier, I think Asia Wilson, I think they deserve their spot. Brianna Stewart on a given night. Um, but but she's in the conversation, right? She's still, I mean, there's a good chance she could be the best player in the league. Um, but she's still got some areas to develop. Her 2 point game, her ability to finish on the drive, stuff like that. All right, so anyway, you take that talent off the floor, you're not a better basketball team. You might play better together, and offensively things may click or seemingly click, but you're not a better basketball team. So what's going to happen here with Caitlin Clark is she's going to have to figure out the balance between what the Fever are doing right now without her and what they do best with her. Because the contrast that I'm seeing with the team that's on the floor right now, they share it. The ball bounces around quickly, player to player to player. It doesn't get stuck in any one player's hands. But when Caitlin Clark's out there, dribble, 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 dribble. Dribble, 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 dribble. Dribble, 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 dribble. Have you got the idea yet?
Yeah, no, a lot of dribbling.
Dribble, yeah. But when she's not on the floor, pass, 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 screen, handoff, it just seems like the motion is more constant. And like I said, they've got to figure out how do they integrate what Caitlin Clark does well with what the Fever are doing well right now, and make it work when she does get back on the court. But don't even start thinking that the Fever are a better basketball team without Caitlin Clark out there.
Yeah, no question about it. They're not a better team without her. They're just a different team. And like you said, there is better ball movement because you don't have your primary ball handler and center focus of not center, but focus of the offense out there on the court. It's a completely different team with her on the court. But like you said, I like that idea of integrating the balance of what's worked for them with her off the court and getting some of that into it when she's on the court because there is a lack of ball movement that can be fixed.
All right, I got to look at the final numbers. I don't have them memorized. Um, by the way, Aaliyah Boston
Yeah.
has become my new Miles Turner.
Oh no. That's not good.
She can really frustrate the heck out of me, Adam.
Not doing
I
enough
mean,
for
she's
you.
got some talent. She can do some good things, but it's like it comes down to a key rebound and she gets out rebounded and doesn't get a key rebound late or misses a key shot. Had a layup today that could have put him up, I think, 6 or 8 points, and then she missed the layup. They went the other way and scored. There was a couple of rebounds she didn't get. It's frustrating. I have to admit. All right, so let's look at some of the quickly, if I can do this quickly. Some of the stats from the game today. It was not a good day for Kelsey Mitchell. She was 3 for 16 from the field, including 0 for 8 from three, and
Yep.
had 9 points. But 21 from Natasha Howard, 17 from Sophie. That's a season high for Sophie Cunningham.
Yep.
I was concerned with all of the attention that she is getting now and starting her own podcast and apparently negotiating some new business deals and marketing opportunities that maybe that's too much of a distraction. It's going to take her attention away from basketball. And is she going to be a key contributor or is it going to be too much? She actually has become better.
Yeah, she's fired up and playing with passion and aggression. So yeah, like you said, high from today, 17, 4 for 5 from three. So
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah.
yeah. Now, here's the funny thing: the one she missed was the biggest shot she took.
Mm.
Down at the end, when Seattle was starting a little bit of a run, she got a look at a three, could have been almost a dagger, and she missed it. Pressure.
Ah, yep.
Um, but the bench provided nothing. 6 points from Dantas today and nothing else. They got 21 from Howard, 17 from Cunningham, 16 from Aaliyah Boston to go with 12 rebounds, 9 points from Kelsey Mitchell, and Ari McDonald was 0 for 5 from three. So to win a game on the road when Mitchell and McDonald combined to go 0 for 13. In fact, let's go ahead and add Lexi Hull to that, one of the better 3 point shooters. Because if
Yeah.
you put Mitchell, McDonald, and Hull together today, they were 0 for 15 from 3 point land. And they won the game. Pretty
Yeah, that's crazy. The team
on
as
the
a whole
road.
only went 4 of 22, so 18.2% as a team from three, and they still got the win.
Well, all four were made by the same player.
Yeah, they were. That's crazy.
Sophie was 4 for 5, and the rest of the team was 0 for 17.
Although Seattle Storm not much better from 3 point range, 2 for 15 for 13.3%. My
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah. Actually, Skylar Diggins had two looks at a three to tie in the last 2 minutes, back to back on the same possession. Got a 3 point look, offensive rebound, kicked it back out, got another 3 point look from almost the same spot, missed them both.
Ugh, count your lucky stars.
Like I said, the Fever kind of got lucky. All right, we got to talk about the Indianapolis Colts, their situation. And, I keep trying to evaluate. And I mentioned this. Yeah, I'm not at practice, but I am consuming so much video that is posted, so many comments that are out on X or social media somewhere that I feel like I'm seeing the team play because you get all the different opinions and you weigh the ones you think are the most weighted or the consensus. And okay, so here's what I do believe with the Indianapolis Colts. First of all, I think the Colts defense is going to be better than it was last year. I don't know if the defense is going to be good enough to make this a good football team because I am so concerned over what's happening at quarterback that I don't know if the Colts can be a 500 team. Daniel Jones, I feel like they got him thinking we want Anthony Richardson to be the guy, but if it fails, it fails. And our insurance policy is Daniel Jones. Right now, I don't think it's an insurance policy. I think it's a default. And if you go to Daniel Jones, you're not saving the ship from sinking because I don't think he's good enough to overcome as the quarterback. And so the bottom line is Anthony Richardson better get it together because I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be the savior in that situation. And I do think the Colts brass, coaching staff, everything, I think they want to see Anthony Richardson succeed. And I'm quite sure that Chris Ballard does. Otherwise, that's a bust of a pick, and it's probably one of the worst picks he's made in his time as general manager, and that's saying something. But right now, no consistency, bad decision making. He's still not showing that he's an accurate quarterback that can consistently complete 60 to 65% of his throws, which is a minimum in the NFL. And I think you could waste a pretty good receiving core when you look at Michael Pittman Jr., Josh Downs, and Tyler Warren. I think you've got right there three unique quality receivers. And I'm not discounting Alec Pierce and what he can do but I also think Anthony Richardson and Alec Pierce have a connection because the best thing that Richardson does is heave it 70 yards down the field. The best thing that Pierce does is go 70 yards and catch it. So they might connect a couple of times this year, but it's the other three guys that I think are going to be the important pieces on the intermediate routes, on the 3rd and 7, Those are the plays that the Colts are going to have to complete, and I'm not sure they've got the quarterback to get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, from what I'm seeing, there's going to be, or there seems to be another kind of hype cycle building around Anthony Richardson. But the thing is, it's just completely built off of, deep highlights that we've seen from training camp. But we've also still heard about him, excuse me, having struggles in the red zone and with some of his decision making. So while there still might be improvements in training camp, I still want to see it, in actual play, because I'm still concerned about the accuracy and consistency of the throwing. So I
When
think,
do the Colts have to name their starter? Do they have to do it before they go into their first preseason game? Because here's my concern. If he's going to be the starter and you're going to name him the starter, name him now and give him reps. Remember, I said the same thing a year ago.
mhm.
You've got to give him reps. You got to get him comfortable with this offense. You got to get him comfortable with his receivers. You got to get him comfortable with Tyler Warren and everything he's going to be responsible for. He needs reps. He came into the league short of college reps. He did not have the amount of time as a college quarterback that some of the other quarterbacks had. He needs possession. He needs snaps. And I don't know if the Colts have ever given him enough in real game time situations. And so I'd like to see him play. But I'm wondering, Adam, what do you think? When do the Colts have to make the decision on who the quarterback is going to be? Does it have to come before the preseason game, or do you let them go through the preseason, then make the decision?
I say they're probably going to go through the preseason just because then it gives them a chance to tinker a little bit with, maybe a Daniel Jones start, maybe an Anthony Richardson start, or just switching them out. And then after preseason, you probably name your starter based off of what you see in preseason. But I do agree that it would be good to just name him as the starter if that's what you're planning to do, and just get him the reps. But I think they're probably going to be toying and experimenting throughout the preseason here.
Okay, now Ryan is caught up, and now he's hearing our comments about his earlier comment. You were talking about a game getting over at 11. Oh, okay. The TinCaps game that lasted till after 11 o'clock. I don't know what the curfew is. 11:30,
Yeah,
maybe 11:15.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. Yeah, didn't apply. I know that. Um, but so yeah, because we were watching the comments and he's watching the video from the beginning when we're already about 20 minutes in, so it kind of confused things.
Yes.
Once again, if you're connected to the video, we would love to have you subscribe to the channel on YouTube. That is now the new home of the Sports Rush. That's where we post our videos. That's where we post our shorts. Be sure to just kind of flip through and scroll through and see if there's anything you want to get from our library of videos and shorts. But you also want to click the bell. I'm told that if you click the bell, then if we do go live or have new content posted, you will get alerts to let you know there's something new to check out here on the Sports Rush. But this is where the home is. And so for those of you that followed us on the radio, this is now the place. We don't have a schedule like 4 to 6. So that's why you have to subscribe. That's why you have to click the bell. And make sure you give us that thumbs up. And also share the channel. If you can put it on your social media and say, hey, if you're following me on social media, how about giving this a follow and subscribe to this channel? The great thing about subscribing is it is not a subscription like a fee. I think so many people are scared that if they subscribe, they're going to get hit with some type of charge. No, it's absolutely free. We're not getting a bunch of personal information. It's just simply a click to the video, to our videos. That's it. That's all. You click it and you'll be connected with us. And we don't know any more information about you than we would have known before. So you're not going to get a bunch of emails. You're not going to get a request to purchase something. So please be a subscriber on our YouTube channel. That would certainly help us out. What else happening with you, Adam? Any other big sports stories for your world?
Nope, nothing crazy on my end. Just been watching some Major League Baseball. Been following along with the Padres and the Tigers. But other
Cubs
than
got a
that,
big win. How about Justin Turner? Boom, bottom of the
hey,
ninth.
all right, good stuff.
Guy's like 50 years old, hitting home runs, hitting bombs to win it at Wrigley.
He has been in
The
a
Cubs
while.
ended up beating the Orioles after the Orioles tied it at the top of the ninth with a run to make it a 3-3 game. Cubs with the walk-off bottom of the ninth. But that was fun at Wrigley. And of course, this week at Wrigley, we also learned something big, Adam. All-Star Game is coming to Wrigleyville in
Yeah,
2027, 2 years away. Road trip.
I'm down. That'll be fun. That'll be a great atmosphere there in Wrigleyville and at Wrigley Field for the All Star game.
Now,
So looking
I'm not
forward to
big
that.
on All-Star games, but I am big on atmosphere.
Yeah,
And what do you think the bleacher seats will run for the home run derby?
for the home run derby. Oh man, probably like 150 minimum, right?
Well, I'm thinking the
200.
secondary mark. I'm talking about. I mean, my guess is 1,500 and up.
Yeah, secondary market. I mean,
But yeah,
yeah, that could be
yeah,
huge.
because the average Joe isn't going to go on Ticketmaster and just jump in and buy tickets. They're all going to be gobbled up by the scalpers and by the
Yeah,
third party sites. I'm thinking it's going to cost you about 1,500 to get into those bleacher seats for the home run derby part of Wrigleyville.
it's gonna be pricey, no question about
That
it.
was big news, and of course, Chicago needed good news after the death of Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah, that was sad.
Uh,
Yeah,
he's not necessarily an idol, but he is someone that I followed and tried to be the kind of hitter that he was. You know
definitely.
that we all have players that influence how we play. He was a guy that influenced my baseball career when I watched him playing with the Chicago Cubs.
Definitely a good swing to want to imitate.
Well, they
Definitely a
say
good hitter.
imitation's the greatest form of flattery, and that was I tried to imitate a lot of what he did. His balance at the plate,
Hmm.
just very still head. There were things that, and I just thought he goes about his business the right way. I certainly wanted to be like Ryan Sandberg. Now I didn't necessarily have every detail down, but there were things about his swing and the stance and his approach that certainly I tried to emulate. All right,
Yeah,
we'll wrap up this week. Of course, there's going to be stuff coming up during the week that we're going to keep everybody abreast of. We've got high school football coming. Still working on. I keep getting asked. I got asked like 4 times this week. What about the high school picks of the week? Everybody's freaking out because I'm not going to have high school football picks of the week.
hmm
We're going to figure out something. I don't know how. I don't know if it'll be as clever, but I'm still kind of working on how much time will I have, how much time will it take, and what can I do to get my high school picks out there. I'm trying to do that.
good to
Uh,
hear.
but that'll be on we'll confirm that on down the road. We'll also kind of get a breakdown of some of the different conferences and who we think are some of the favorites. I think right now the early returns, as I look in the Summit Athletic Conference, I'm looking at Carroll and I'm looking at Snyder, and I'm trying to determine which one of the two is going to be my favorite. I know a lot of people like some of the talent at Dwenger this year. Um, I just, I think it comes down to Carroll Snyder and those two when they play each other. But what's going to be interesting about it is they're also going to be, I believe, in the same sectional. So
Always fun when those two teams play each other.
plenty to talk about with high school football.
Oh yeah,
Adam, appreciate the patience joining us here on Central Time. Always, always glad to have you jump on. And of course, we've got to wrap up the show this week. And so once again, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you share the channel, make sure you leave your comments. All of those things are important in the algorithm. And we're just trying to grow this thing as we get into football season. We're going to get some more football guests. Didn't really know what the schedule was going to be this weekend or what time or when I would be able to jump on, and tried to do it pretty quickly right after the TinCaps. And obviously had a technical glitch, but I'm glad that so many of you are joining us here for the video. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. But have a great Sunday night. We'll talk again. This has been the Sports Rush on YouTube. That's the new home of the Sports Rush, and we appreciate you following us.